There he is. What's up, pro?
Not much, man. Just in the thick of it.
Bro, you making some waves down there, man.
Trying to, bro. Trying to, trying to just, you know, take care of every single rep as much as I can. Reps are limited, so trying to make the most of every single rep. And obviously, with limited reps, can't do too much risky. Can't do too much risk taking plays. Gotta sometimes it's about taking what they give you. It's kind of what I've learned from Jake Browning, being the QB2 right now. It's definitely been an experience though. I've gotten a chance to learn a lot since getting down here, and I've only been here a month. So
I know.
yeah,
It's drinking out of a fire hose, bro. I know.
that's basically what Chandler, my quarterback coach here at the Bucks, said. We're going to be spraying water at you, and it's going to be just like drinking water out of a fire hose. So I'm like, I understand it.
But I'm assuming they want you to do what you can within the confines of what you can. You can't be trying to do too much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with limited reps, you can't really do too much. Can't really I wouldn't say you can't really play free because like obviously you have to be able to play free at all times at this position. But yeah, you're right. You can't if you have that deep play, you better read it true unless they're completely telling you to let it go. And obviously, like my first couple days with the vets, they've been like they were saying like, yeah, when we call this play, I don't care. I want you to throw it deep. And like it was one of those plays where Jake Browning came up to me like after the day was over and he was like, bro, I've been a UDFA. I've been a backup. I've been in the league going on, well, I think 7 or 8 for him now. And he's just like, even when they're telling you to take all of these deep plays and everything like that, they are not the ones who are in the room when the GMs and the assistant GMs are the ones making the decision to keep you or cut you. And when they're watching film, like the quarterback coach, OC passing game coordinator are not going to be in that room. So you have to do everything that you can to be able to look good on film. And that's if they tell you to throw that bitch deep and the deep is gone, take the check down. Like take the
Yeah.
completion. Do what you have to do to be able to because that film is there. That film does not lie at all. And that's kind of going from rookie minicamp. I was hooping the whole entire rookie minicamp. Like honestly, I thought I was like, damn, if this like what the NFL gonna be like, this is gonna be a breeze. And like I had basically every single rep in rookie minicamp too. Like we had 3 quarterbacks there, and one of them didn't get a team rep at all, and the quarterback behind me got maybe 4 or 5 reps day one, 3 reps day two, and literally didn't touch the field on the last day. I had every single rep on the last day of rookie minicamp. So when you go from that to now you're behind Baker, now you're behind Jake, and you're behind Connor, and now you're getting 1 or 2 pass plays in practice. Like now it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Now you gotta make the most of those opportunities, and like like you said, I mean I played good enough to put myself in a position to basically take most of the threes reps right now. Um, when they say the threes are going, I'm probably the quarterback that Coach Chandler's throwing out there. So it's definitely been an adjustment, but like I said, man, when you're taking every single day in and learning from Jake and everything like that, and from Baker, obviously he's been helping me in a lot of different ways. Both, like we're talking about sliding the pro one way because you have quick game, and if they blitz that way, you could just replace it. Like obviously that's stuff that you probably know from college, but when you're hearing it from the vet, it's like, all right, yeah, nah, you gotta go ahead and make that adjustment.
It's like their language. It's like they've seen it so many times. It's like that's what you do when this happens, and they've seen the board, they've seen the play, and it's just repetition. But
Nah, 1,000%,
you know,
1,000%.
and dude, what I know about you is, bro, like you're gonna make the right read, but if things go weird, you're also gonna do some things that a lot of people can't do, and that's
Yeah.
you just gotta wait for that opportunity and not try to make it happen if it's not there.
No, 1,000%. And I think that's it's like very huge because like obviously I think the biggest difference from college to NFL for me right now in this position I'm in right now is especially like offensively. like, I had a wristband. Like he'll say wristband flip 92. All right, bet. Read that to the huddle, you straight. But now it's like you got a full play call in your head. He's gonna say it twice, and now you have to remember that whole entire play, picture it in your head, and go tell everybody in the huddle. And like that was I think one of the very first questions I asked Baker was like, bro, how do you do that? Like how are like because Ricky Minicamp, bro, I'm trying to tell you, Fish, Ricky Minicamp, I thought I had it down. I knew everything in Ricky Minicamp. Like it was I had it so down, Fish, that I'm telling everybody where to line up if they're lining up wrong. Like, oh, you're supposed to be +1 from the alley. You're supposed to be +2 from the numbers. Like, hey, you're off the ball. Hey, all right, bet, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We gotta go. Like, I was on it so much in rookie minicamp that like I felt like I had it. And then you get that next day after rookie minicamp, you're going in with the vets, and you look at I'm looking at the first day of script with the vets, like, what the hell is this? I'm thinking I know the offense, and like, nah, like whole time you didn't even get 5% of the offense. Like, there's so many different tags, so many different things, and like obviously, like you want to be able to know about alignment, you want to be able to know where people need to be, but it gets to a point, especially like when you're drinking from this fire hose, where it's like, bro, I have to focus on what's going on right now. Focus on the play. Focus on operationally. Like obviously you need to know formation. You need to know where people need to align. But as far as like, yeah, no, you need to be right here, -1, blah blah blah. Like no, and in my head right now, I'm like, as long as he's in that area where I know he's supposed to be, if it's 2x2 and he ain't and we ain't in the 3x1, and I know exactly where he at, then we good. We able to run the play. It's to a point where like you have to be able to run the play. And I think like last week, Coach Chandler came up to me because like I've had one interception this whole entire time since being down here with the Bucks. Actually, it's that was the only interception that I've thrown throughout this whole draft process, East West, all of that since Utah game, last game of college. And like you know me, like I'm hard on myself already, and like Coach Z in college was very hard on me too. So I'm already pissed. Like I'm livid that I just threw an interception. And I'm going through every single rep behind Baker and Everlim, like doing the everything that they're doing, I'm doing it behind the play. And like that's something that coaches notices as well. But Coach Chandler was like, I told you you're going to be drinking from a fire hose. And right now I think that you're trying to do everything that you can to even match QB1 that you're not focused on what QB3 needs to do at the time. And I'm
Mm,
like, damn,
mm,
when you put it in that perspective, like you're right. I'm not focused on my QB3 reps, my 3 reps that I'm finna get to today, because I'm
mm.
trying to get every single rep the QB1 getting right now.
Right.
But if you're not focused on the reps you gotta get, now you finna go out there, go on the field, and
Mm,
like you're not performing on film like you need to perform. Like I said, for this GM and this assistant GM who are about to go watch film come August 30th and have to make these cuts.
mhm.
So I think I've definitely like since then. After that, I took like 3 days and continued to just like, all right, bet. Let me just focus on my reps, focus on the threes right now, and then gradually I've been able to get back into the twos. And like today, like I was able to focus on mine, but also be on everybody else's reps too, and be able to get it behind the play. So it's definitely been a developing thing over the last few weeks, but man, you're drinking from a fire hose,
Sure.
so like
That
you're
whole,
never.
just hearing you right there, it was like I'm getting like sweats because you know how to play football. You've been playing football at a high level for a long time, but the
Yeah,
levels where it's like you've had your masters, now this is like PhD rocket
1,000%.
science stuff, dude. Where it's like
Yeah,
there's a whole other level of, and then that you didn't mention one thing about arm strength. You didn't mention one thing about how far you can throw a ball. The only thing you just talked about was operation.
1,000%.
And that's so important to hear from you because you've got all those tools that we think as young quarterbacks, that's what's going to get us and sustain us. That's part of it. You have to have it. But if you don't have the operations at the highest level, it's who cares?
It doesn't matter. Like what I've like I honestly like I've been learned, especially when you go through college, that you can have as much arm strength as you want. You can be able to go make all the dual threat plays that you want. You can be able to go throw the ball 90 yards, be able to throw a whole shot from left hash to sideline 40 yards down the field. But like if you're not operating and you're not able to get that snap off, they don't give a damn how good you are at quarterback. Because obviously, you're not that good at quarterback if you're not able to be able to construct this offense and make sure that we're able to run and have all 11 people on the same page. Like, all the athletic and all the talent you have does not matter if you can't get into that huddle, remember that play call, and be able to tell them and reiterate to everybody else what they have to do. That's the biggest, I think, the biggest jump from college to NFL is, like, for me, is the mental aspect of it. You can be as gifted as you want. If you don't have it here, you're not, it doesn't matter if you have it here. It doesn't.
Right.
Like, and that's what people don't understand. Going from each level of the game of football. When you go from Pop Warner to high school, you're like, I mean, I was the best in my Pop Warner team, so bet let's go hoop. You go out there and hoop, and you kind of just out there free balling. You get from high school to college, now it's more structured. You're like, damn, I actually got a playbook. I got reads. I got to do this. I got to do this. But you still able. There's people who's able to get through college and just be able to still rely on your athletic and your God gifted talents. But when you get to that NFL at this position, nah, it's not. It'll work for you in a lot of different situations, but it will not consistently work for you if you don't have it all up top at the top of your head.
What kind of respect now do you have for starting quarterbacks in the NFL, especially guys that are thrown into fire right away?
I mean, all the respect in the world because, like, obviously, you always see about QB1, and you may hear about QB2 sometimes if QB1 goes down or if the team's up, and but whole time, like, they not really, you don't really realize that the drop off from, depending on your team, obviously, the drop off from QB1 to QB2 is not insane as you think. It's not. Talent wise, maybe it can be depending on where you're at, like I said. But as far as being able to play the quarterback position in the NFL, like, nah, you can't be QB2 on this level if you're not able to go out there and be able to operate just like QB1. And that's like what I've realized off the bat, especially being able to play with Jake Browning. Jake Browning is a very smart quarterback. Being able to, first of all, he had to throw today earlier today, like it was crazy. He rolled out to the right and hit a sidearm in between the DN that was collapsing and just threw it right into a pocket for a touchdown. And I'm sitting here like, dog,
Elite.
but elite. But you don't hear about it. You don't see it because he's not QB1. But I tell you what, he can go out there and go make a football play. That's for sure. So like that's definitely one of the misconceptions of being able to see QB1 go out there and play every Sunday. Like QB2 not far off. If QB2 not there already. So
Some of my favorite stories are hearing pros talk about just practice plays where, like you said, you don't hear about them because they're not televised, or even if it's a QB1 play where they're like, this guy made a play that was unbelievable, or this receiver did something that was so incredible that no one will ever know about. But you
yeah.
see these things on a Monday through Friday, schedule, and you're like that. Even if it's Browning, and even if it's Baker, it's like that was insane, and that
Nah,
they
cause
might not
like I
trend.
I mentioned I mentioned Jake, but like, dog, when we're talking about being able to see a window before the window's there and being able to throw completely on time, like Baker's literally the best as I've seen in person doing that. Being able to manipulate a defense, knowing who has what responsibility within a defense, and being able to knowing that the hook curl players, seam flat defenders, and everybody's looking at your eyes and being able to manipulate a defense into putting themselves in a bad position where they're supposed to be where the play is at and being able to find that hole, like bro, it's actually been insane. Like he Baker has put the ball in so many tight holes like since I've been here, and I'm sitting here like, dog, I see exactly what he's seen, but he's actually throwing that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's throwing a basic right behind a hook curl linebacker who's literally like, if this is the linebacker and this is the receiver, he's throwing it right here, knowing that he's gonna be able to get into that little hole before he gets to the next hook curl. And I'm just like, dog. And then like, bro, my very first play, it's all on the social media and everything like that now, but it took like a week in order for him to put it out there. But like, I kid you not, very first play of OTAs that I was a part of, like I wasn't on the field, but like it was the very first team play ever that I had been a part of in the NFL. Baker goes wide zone action to the left. comes back to in between the A gaps. We have a streak on number two and a dig by number one, and it's a Mekek Booker running the dig, and he throws the dig. Baker throws it a little high, like he literally said, "I didn't want it to be that high," but he had to because there was somebody in front. And Mech, without like hesitation, didn't stop stride, turns around 360, one hands it, and goes to the crib for another 40 yards. And I was sitting here like, dog, I thought welcome to the NFL moments is supposed to be me, but I'm sitting here like, dog, there's no way I just watched that on the very first play of being in the NFL. I just watched Baker throw a dime to Mech, and Mech just went 360 one hand, 40 more yards to the crib. I'm sitting here like, dog, I
He's
don't know what I'm looking at, but
that dude is sick. He does that. He does that on Sundays, man. He's sick with.
no, for sure. Because that's just the one play that he made that day. And there was multiple plays within that same day where I'm seeing like, bro, no, there's definitely some NFL players here.
Bro. I'm glad you mentioned Baker. Guys like him, it's like you mentioned like how he sees the window before the window. It's like he's got that Madden view where he sees it from up top and you can see things happening and it's just it's got to be fun. And I think that you'll be at that point in your career. It just takes reps, but it's got to be fun to be able to play the chess game within the game and manipulate and anticipate what he's doing. And it's just so many hours of seeing a defense. And I think that's
Sure.
why, guys like Tom Brady and like you can play into your 40s as long as you're healthy and you have a line, you probably end up getting better because you've seen it so many times and you are familiar with what they're going to do and you can leverage and mess with guys and manipulate the defense and it's just a whole other level, man, that it's so fun to watch when you see a pro really do that. And like I said, I this has been like I wasn't even planning on jumping right into the league.
Yeah.
I want to ask you some questions, but like this whole thing right here has been freaking I love it. It's so fun to hear the little nuances and the day-to-day operations. And I'm so proud of you, and I know you're going to do great things. So what I wanted to ask you first, and
Speak to me.
let me introduce you proper
Yeah.
because this is my second podcast. It's called the School of Fish. Um,
Okay.
I'm interviewing all my favorite guys that I've coached over the years. It's going to be quarterbacks. It's going to be different football players. It's going to be coaches. But I wanted to. I had AC Aiden on last week. I wanted to get you on board this week. So I want to make sure that I introduce you proper. This is Mr. Lawndale himself, the pride of Lawndale, the savior of Lawrence, Kansas, now Tampa Bay Buccaneer, JD6. Jalon, welcome to the School of Fish, buddy.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for having me on, Fish.
So, don't want to put too much time into it, but let's start from the beginning. I met you when you were 16, I think. You were a starter already at Lawndale, but you had come from a transfer of at Narbonne High School. Walk me
Mhm.
through the transfer from Narbonne to Lawndale and what that was like going from just not being the guy you said you've been the dude since you were a Pop Warner. You found yourself on the bench for the first time as a quarterback. Walk me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like my high school journey was a very unique journey. Um, Los Angeles high school football is going to be written all over all over this story, truth be told. But so I played at Inglewood Jets and Pop Warner, came to high school and started my freshman year playing football at Narbonne High School my freshman sophomore year and um, transferred. Well, now I came into Narbonne late, uh, like second week of when school started, and obviously throughout that whole entire summer, they have already had. Kyle Williams, who is now a receiver for the Patriots, he was the starter on JV my freshman year. Jalen Chapman was the starter on varsity my freshman year, and there was a couple quarterbacks on freshmen, but like I was unknown. Nobody at the school knew me when I first came in, especially since I came late. And ended up like first time completely having a structured offense where it was like, yeah, so there's reads, and this is the play, and this is the wristband, and this is how we're gonna go about things. So this is the first time in my life where I truly had like a structure of an offense and had to be able to know what different reads were, had to be able to go through different things. And obviously, like I said earlier, when you're in Pop Warner, you're kind of just relying on your God gifted abilities and you're able to go out there and be able to score touchdowns. So it was definitely a transition from Pop Warner to high school. And going into my sophomore year, obviously Kyle Williams was we were in the same grade and he was already started on JV the year before. But then we ended up having a freshman named Jalon Henderson come in my sophomore year, and I ended up getting knocked back down to freshman. Jalon Henderson ended up becoming a starter on JV. Kyle Williams ended up moving up to varsity and was QB2 on varsity. And in my head, I'm sitting here like, dang, like, right, a freshman just came in and like, bro, I'm thinking I'm finna be the starter on JV. He just came in and swooped that up. So like, I'm already in my like, I'm already in a space where it's like, dang, that's crazy. Well, like, what do you do from here? That's kind of always been my whole entire life journey is like, all right, bet it happened. So what do you do from here? You sit and mope about it? Like, no. So throughout that whole entire sophomore year, it was about being able to prove to the coaching staff, like, nah, like I've been working whole entire off season. Like I'm a hooper. Like I can play quarterback at this level. I promise. Like going into junior year, like I know I'm gonna be competing with Kyle Williams, but I want y'all to know right now, like we gonna be competing. This is gonna be a real competition. So um after junior year, after sophomore year happened, we going into junior year, and Jay Garcia ends up transferring in. So like now it's Kyle Williams, Jay Garcia, Jalon Henderson, a guy named Makai at the time, and it's me. And now we talking a five quarterback race, but like I remember talking to one of the coaches, and it was kind of like a like yeah it's gonna be a competition, but it's not really gonna be a competition. We kind of already have our guy. We know who's gonna be QB1. So I'm sitting like, dang, all right, bet. Well, another situation of what do we do from here? Uh, got the opportunity to be able to go to Lawndale High School going into my junior year, a team that had just came off of an undefeated season. Their one loss from the year was in the first round of the playoffs. They went undefeated the whole year and then lost first round playoffs. And they had everybody on that team returning except for their starting quarterback. So when I transferred into Lawndale, like this is my first time starting varsity. It's already like they think that this is going to be the year that we end up going to the championship. And this is obviously my first year starting on varsity. So I'm saying like, dang, I'm not really thinking of it like that. But obviously in the back of your head, you the only replacement. So like you got to go out there and go hoop because if not, you obviously the problem. So
Yeah.
uh my first game starting varsity was versus Sierra Canyon and they were a very good team that year. Especially preseason, they ended up starting off ranked somewhere high up, but we ended up getting a chance to be able to play them. My first touchdown at Lawndale was off a 60-yard QB sneak, and from there we kind of just took over. From there, we ended up winning a state championship that junior year, going against San Joaquin Memorial. Jalen McMillan was a receiver on that San Joaquin Memorial team, by the way. So, like the fact
Oh,
that like that's my teammate now, like we be chopping about that all the time. But
wow.
so going into my senior year, obviously I started working out with you right before the playoffs of my junior year. So I want to say it was like if we how many games we have in a season in high school? What 10, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, it was like week 9, week 10, where I finally got the chance to be able to work with you. And we kind of just started working from there. I ended up winning the state championship. And from there, like I'm talking to Fish. I'm like, yeah, we won state. I'm like, I'm the starting quarterback on varsity. Like, this is like all the offers. I'm thinking I'm gonna get floodgate with offers. Like, this is exactly what I thought. And it kind of just like didn't happen that way. So after my junior year where I won state, I believe my first time getting a college offer was 3 months after we ended up winning state. And it was from a coach named Travis Partridge, who I ended up being able to be at Kansas with at the same time. He was my first offer, and it was Tennessee Martin. Then after that, I got a few academy offers, a few more FCS schools, and then like my first true FBS like offer outside of the academies was Middle Tennessee State, and that was like the school who wanted me the most. So before my senior year started, I didn't have any Power Five at the time, now Power Four schools offer, and I'm like, all right, bet. Talk to Fish, and I'm like, Fish, this is like probably where I'm gonna end up committing because like my mom always told me if you want to be the best, you got to go against the best. This is the best opportunity for me to be able to go against the best competition. All right, bet Fish, we finna go be Blue Raiders. Go on this visit. End up going on my visit, end up committing, and then going to my senior year, I'm like, all right, bet. I'm already good for college. Like I already know I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna go to Middle Tennessee State. Throughout the my senior year, we ended up having a pretty solid season. Um, Forgot what the true record was, but we ended up going to the second round of the playoffs and ended up losing a very close game, like 42 to 45. That was like my best game that I had in high
That
school.
Grace Brethren.
It was Grace Brethren. It was
Okay,
that Grace
real
Brethren
quick.
game.
There was
Feature me.
there was a throw that still may be my favorite JD6 throw, and it's against Grace in that was it the
Yeah,
state
you're talking about that
game?
back shoulder to Mikhail.
Bro, you threw about a 40-yard seed, and it would have killed this kid if he didn't catch it. And I was like, and I remember watching it be like, in my head, I'm like, how is Middle Tennessee State the only guy, like, because I'll tell you right now, Jake, even that was only 6 years ago. The style of play has changed now where your style, if it was today, you would have had 20 offers in this new wave of recruiting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Because they were tripping on height back then. They
Bro,
were,
what
they were
was they?
and Bryce, you weren't even small,
I'm not. That's the crazy part. Like I think in high school, when I came out of high
you
school,
were
I was
190 at
5'11.
least in high
I was
school,
195, 5'11. And
dude.
like nah, you're not tall enough.
And running a 4.6 sub 4.6, like,
Yeah.
and so like it would have been. So, anyways, keep going. So you're at Middle Tennessee, played in your senior season.
Yeah. So I committed to Middle Tennessee State, played my senior year, ended up losing second round of Grace Brethren, like I said. And um I'm thinking like, all right, bet. So the week before we played Grass Brethren, I ended up tearing my meniscus in the game before, and like I didn't know I tore my meniscus. Like obviously, I didn't really know too much about serious. Like and honestly, like in the landscape of football, like that's really a minor injury. But at the time, it's major to me because it's the craziest injury that I had, and I didn't know. So as a football player who has to play in the playoffs and you're the quarterback of the team, I don't really care how much pain I'm feeling. I'm finna go pop these ibuprofens and go out there and go play football. And that's kind of what I did for the Grace Brethren game. And like I said, I had my best high school game, but sadly we ended up falling short, ended up losing that game. And right after that, the season was over, but obviously it was second round, so there was still some time left in our high school year. But I had been talking to Brent Dearman, who was a analyst at the time at the University of Kansas from February all the way until about October, November. Ended up becoming an OC at Kansas, and he gave me a call about 2 weeks before signing day and was basically like, "Look, I haven't been able to give anybody an offer, and Les Miles said that I'm going to be able to get my first offer. And if I can't get my first offer, first offer is going to be to you. But I want to be able to come down there and watch you throw, and with Les Miles. And if we like what we see, we're gonna give you an offer." They end up coming down and watch me throw, end up giving me an offer, and I just remember telling Fish like, "Bro, like I just got that Kansas offer, and now it's like it's decision time." So now I'm in a situation where I've been committed to one school for months, and based on my history at Kansas, like I'm not someone who likes to switch up on any decision that I made, any initial decision that I made, which is also like what led me to be able to stay at Kansas for 6 years. But like it was truly a very hard decision for me because I had been committed to Middle Tennessee State. Um, I had one more official visit after I got my offer to Middle Tennessee State, and after I took my official visit to Middle Tennessee State, that thing that my mom continues to tell me all the time is, "Son, if you want to be the best, you have to play against the best." And Kansas, I believe, was coming off of a 2-win season that year, but I remember that the game Brent Dearman ended up becoming OC. They had a very close game that was a shootout versus Texas. And I remember seeing them put up so many numbers with Carter Stanley at quarterback and Brent Dearman's first game at OC, and I was like, "Dog, I believe in it. I'm sorry. Like I think if I go to Kansas, I think that I have the opportunity to be able to be a part of a complete turnaround." And made the decision on signing day to officially decommit from Middle Tennessee State. Signed to Kansas on signing day. Hadn't been to the Midwest outside of Detroit, Michigan. Never been to Kansas,
Yeah. You
and
didn't even do an OV.
nah, I couldn't because I couldn't
It was
couldn't
that it
have it.
was that tight.
Yeah, it was a tight window. So literally, and Middle Tennessee State at the time had uh a no visit policy. So if you're committed to Middle Tennessee State, you can't take any visits, and if you do, they're going to count as a decommit. So there was multiple visits that I wanted to go on, but obviously with that being the best offer that I had, I wasn't trying to be able to lose that opportunity. So I couldn't go on any visits. And Middle Tennessee State was literally my only college visit that I ever been on. So
That's crazy.
I took an unofficial visit to Kansas, obviously because I signed already. 3 months after signing, ended up going there, watching them play Texas Tech. I'll never forget that game, and I was like, "Dog, this atmosphere and this Allen Fieldhouse. If these fans are this crazy about basketball, imagine how crazy they'll be for a winning football team." And
Right.
I'll never forget that moment when I said that to my mom. And next thing I know, a few months later, I'm moving to the University of Kansas, June 2020. And crazy part is, 2020 was the COVID. And the COVID ended up happening at the like literally right after my visit to Kansas. I ended up getting that surgery on my meniscus that I need to get done, and
Right. That's
a
right.
week after, bow. So, son, you're not going to be able to go to school. They're shutting down everything. COVID. And I was like, whoa. So obviously, when COVID first happened, anybody think it was going to be crazy. So I'm like, all right, but I got a week off of school. Next thing I know, the next time that I'm doing anything, I'm moving to Lawrence, Kansas.
All right. So I want to unpack a little bit because it's important for these young quarterbacks to listen. You didn't have much going on until senior year. You had to win a state title your junior year for Division I offers to start rolling in. And it's not like you were getting USC and UCLA and the Pac-12. You were getting UT Martin. You were getting Army. I remember and I remember you and me were fired up because when you don't have anything and you start getting even one,
Yeah,
it's a
facts.
blessing. It's a blessing.
Yeah,
I mean, if you had to go to UT Martin, that's where you would have went. But
1,000%.
I mean, but I remember just the journey and man, I really believe, Jay, I'm in the recruiting part of this world now. A lot of it just has to do with you because I pushed you out to so many schools that I was able to build relationships with schools just by letting people know who you are. And
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many receipts and text messages I have of dang, dude, we should have went on it when you told me like, dang, your boy
Yeah.
JD,
Y'all should have,
true.
bro. There was some schools, fish. Like I'm not gonna say the schools or the coaches or anything, but fish. You know, some of them SEC
Oh,
schools that pulled up and never like said that they was coming to the school to come see me and didn't even look at me while I was at the school. They came to come look at two of my dogs that ended up going to Washington and literally didn't say a word to me at all.
oh yeah.
And like I just remember Fish saying like, "Yeah, they finna come down to your school to come see you." And Fish ended up hitting me later like, "Yeah, so how'd it go?" And I'm like, "What you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, the coach said he was down there. Like, yeah, how'd it go?" And I'm like, "Coach didn't come see me."
Yeah.
So come to find out, I ended up talking to the guys later. They're like, "Yeah, blah 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 just came down. I got the chance to talk to blah blah blah." I said, "No,
Where was I?
that's crazy."
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, nah, it was definitely some
oh,
opportunities missed by some people for sure.
oh man, I've got receipts, bro. But it makes it that much sweeter. And I tell my guys this all the time, Jay. Like, go where you're wanted. I don't care if it's 30 offers or one. Go where you're wanted.
1,000%.
You had a blessing before Les even came into the picture and flipped you to Kansas. Like you were going to go ball out at Middle Tennessee because that's where you were wanted, and
Hmm.
that's all you need. I think it's just poetry in motion that you ended up staying at Kansas for 6 years because you literally you were doing things at Kansas that had not been done in 15, 20 years, where you were bringing actual juice and culture, you and the team, but obviously the quarterback position is the most important. You changed the culture of Lawrence, Kansas during your tenure there, and you had choices. I remember we've had some in-depth conversations about, maybe leaving fifth year, sixth year, and there was some financial benefits, obviously. You ended up staying there for 6 years. I've always told you, and I tell everybody this, that will be such a blessing for you as you continue to grow and get older because you have a legacy at one school. You'll
Yeah.
be able to take your kids back there. You'll be able to take your grandkids back there. And you'll be able to say, this was my home. This is where I built my legacy. And you'll always have the keys to Lawrence, Kansas. And in this NIL world where people are looking for the next move, the equity that you have in having that legacy in one place, I think is such a special thing that people don't realize until later on. So why did you decide to not leave and make that happen for yourself?
Well, like we just talked about, there was a lot of different teams, a lot of different coaches, especially out of high school. Like when you brought up UCLA, like that was one of the schools that hurt because they were in the back door. Not the back door, they were in the backyard. Um, went on multiple visits there and like ultimately just never believed in me to be able to give me a chance. And um there was literally only two California schools who decided to give me an offer, and it was Azusa Pacific and Cal Poly. And um, that being said, I kind of always knew that I was going to end up leaving California, but with Kansas being the only Power Five school to give me that opportunity that me and you have been talking about of being able to be a Power Five quarterback, like it truly was about being able to not only finish what I started, but to give my all to the only university that was a Power Five school that basically gave me an opportunity to even put my name on that platform, be able to put my true ability and talents on a Power Five level. And I also did not come into college during the NIL era. When I came into college in 2020, NIL was not a thing. They were still talking about it. But not far from before when I went to college, destroying the YouTuber ended up getting banned from being able to play NCAA because of his for monetizing his YouTube account. So like I wasn't thinking anything about money when I first got to college, and obviously you heard the story. Like I was in no position to even think about money. I was just in a position to hopefully get an opportunity to be able to show everybody what I'm able to do against some of the best talent there was. So when NIL finally became a thing at Kansas, like I did not really like obviously I got the chance to be able to make money at Kansas, but uh we had just start winning games at Kansas in 2022. So obviously, like, it wasn't it wasn't a lot of money at the University of Kansas in the football program at the time. And then we finally start winning. And obviously, like, the more you start winning, the more notoriety you get, the more name, image, and likeness is a thing. But like we said, I mean, I had opportunities. I got calls from my agent of schools who were trying to be able to get me to go to a different school. And I've never been someone who likes second guessing because I think that if you second guess anything, that means that you truly don't want to make that decision. So if you're ever in a situation, especially business, family, anything like that, and you feel like you have to second guess, go with your gut. And my gut told me to stay at the University of Kansas no matter what money was being offered. Could have made a whole lot of money. Could have ended up going to a different Power Five school, going to play in the SEC. But like, it truly was not about the money for me. It wasn't about um the school. Like it wasn't about that for me. I mean, I got the chance to be able to be a part of a winning program at Kansas. Like we went 0-9 my freshman year. We went 2-10 my second year there. My third year there, we started off the season 5-0. And then we ended up going to the first bowl game at Kansas in over 10 plus years. Going into my fourth year there, we started off 5-0 again. And we ended up going 9-4 and winning the first bowl game at Kansas in over 10 plus years. And like obviously my last 2 years, like we went 5-7, and those were like I was not happy with the results of it, but I'll also never let a situation dictate my morals and how I go about everything on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, like we went 5-7. That like we didn't go bowling after going bowling 2 years in a row and winning the first one. That hurt my heart. But it hurt my heart so much that I knew I was coming back to Kansas because I was like, bro, no, I don't want to feel that. Like I don't want to feel, especially that 2024 season. I felt like we had the best team that Kansas maybe had in over 10 plus years. And to see that team, that specific team that went 9-4 the year before, come back and go 5-7, I honestly truly did not want to leave out of Kansas feeling like I didn't put all the cards on the table. And a lot of those guys had no longer had eligibility. In 2023, I had another year eligibility in redshirted because of my back. But all of those guys I came in with at Kansas, they didn't get this last year that I had at Kansas. So I was like, nah, I want to be able to finish with not only what I just started, but all of these people who put everything on the line every single day at the University of Kansas who can't compete and play in this new stadium that we just got. I want to be able to go out there and do it for them because I know that when they're watching the game, they're gonna be like, "Bro, I was playing with JD." Like,
Mm,
nah, JD stayed in that Kansas 6 years. Like, nah, like he a dog. Like this is who JD is. Like, if you know JD, you know how he coming every single week. You know how fired up he is to be able to go out there and play in front of the Kansas Jayhawk fans every single weekend. Like, nah, that's just who JD is. And like, though we didn't get the result that we wanted this past year, I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't.
I love that. I there's a lot there. I want to ask you, you have been probably more so than any quarterback I've ever been around, um, rode the waves of highs and lows.
Yeah.
Like you are not a stranger to highs and lows and emotional highs and emotional lows. So a few things that come to mind are like you being a third stringer and getting your opportunity to play and beat Texas in Texas in an overtime game. Um, you being a Heisman, a huge Heisman draw in I think 2023,
22,
2020.
22 and 23.
Um, like you were on the top of the mountain, you're the talk of the town, and then you hit some lows, whether it's you get an injury bug or you get, you guys catch some. I mean, you guys must have lost more by 1 or 2 points than most schools in the history of football for those last 2 years. So
Yeah.
you're no stranger to it. How do you maintain as a leader on a team that emotional high and low, not only when it's happening to yourself personally when you're running with those highs, but how do you keep a team together in the locker room when you guys are going through it?
Um, I think it starts off by first of all, genuinely and truly being yourself. I'm someone who comes in smiling every single day. High energy, high character guy who goes out here and like busts his ass every single day to be able to show everybody that I'm genuinely this is who I am. I'm going to be the same person every single day, whether you like it or not, because this is genuinely who I am. And honestly, if you don't like who I genuinely am, then I don't know what to tell you because I'm going to come in and be the same person every single day. If we're 0 and 9, you're going to see me still coming into the building smiling like we're 9 and 0 and being able to come in and demand every single thing that you need out of your brothers every single day like that has to be who you are because you like I just said earlier you don't want a situation to dictate how you go about it. You don't want a scenario to change your morals and who you are. Never let a situation change who you are. Obviously, you're going to change through life because it's all about being able to develop and be able to become a better man and athlete, especially in this field. But I never let a hard time humble me. Like that's a Nipsey line that I'll never forget when he said that when I was coming out of high school. Never let a hard time humble us because no matter you're playing this game, no matter if you're in the business field, no matter if you're in accounting, no matter what you're doing in life, something is going to hit. It's not going to go your way. Us as humans naturally have positive thoughts and envisionments of everything going right, but not everything is going to go right. So when it doesn't go right, how are you going to go about it? That's kind of like that's what separates the most successful people to the people who aren't as successful as they want to. Coach Sleeve, our strength and conditioning coach at Kansas, if there's nothing that I'll ever remember from what he said, is one thing. He said E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals the outcome. And that whole entire equation, the only thing that you have control over is your response. You don't have control over the outcome. You don't have control over the event. But when the event happens, your response is going to dictate that outcome. So it's about being you and being genuine to your process every single day. It doesn't matter how much you do to try to prevent something from happening, it's bound to happen. But also, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And he's not going to give you a battle that he knows that you cannot withstand. You're
Mm.
going to be able to beat everything that comes your way unless you put yourself in a mindset that you're not going to be able to. Our mindset is our biggest thing within everything that we do in life.
Mm.
I literally have something on my phone. Is there? Yep. This is my screensaver, by the way. I see this every single day. Be delusional. Believe that you have the ability to make it work no matter what. Believe that regardless of what happens, it'll all work out in the end because that's what it takes. Anything and everything else leads to self-sabotage and failure. If you don't believe you have what it takes, then your subconscious will do everything it can to prove that you're right. You don't need to be special or talented. You don't need all the support in the world. All you need is to believe with every fiber of your being that you're capable of figuring it out. And sooner or later, you will. And I think that that's very true.
Yes. The power of thought, the power of positive thinking and walking into those thoughts. Wow. You're taking us to church today, baby. I love it, man. Love it. Um, gosh, JD, this is great. Um, I'm gonna wrap it up with this.
Speak to me.
What is the one thing you would tell a quarterback that has not been to where you've been, but is in that situation? Go back 6 years ago to high school, Jalon. What would you tell one quarterback right now that they could hold on to? Obviously, what you just said was money, but if you could drop a nug for a young guy, what would you give him?
You getting me there, fish, because I
There's a
got three
lot. There's a
different
lot
things that
there.
just there's three different things that just went through my head because
You give all
it
three. That's fine.
I got you because it's very first of all, everybody's situation is unique. So even if I'm talking to somebody I don't know, you could be a 5 star, you could be a 0 star with all the offers, no offers. Never compare yourself to anybody else. Comparison is the thief of joy. You will drown in your own sorrow and thoughts if you keep comparing yourself to somebody else. Because if you're sitting here at 15 offers and you're looking at the guy with 35 offers and there's the 5 star who's going on all the visits, all the flicks, all the followers, all this and all that, you have 15 offers. You have 15 schools who want to be able to have you on their school, give you a full ride scholarship, pay you the NIL, this, and that. And now you're comparing yourself to old buddy with 35. But now we're talking about old boy who has 0 offers who's comparing himself to you. Comparison is the true thief of joy.
Mm.
Like that's that there's nothing else to say in that area. But I will also say
By the way, Aiden said this verbatim, what you just said. Verbatim.
comparison is the thief of joy.
Verbatim, dude. That was the last thing he said. So, I mean, I love it. You guys
Comparison,
are
he's not wrong. Aiden
because
has
he's,
had his
he's
story as well.
he's been through it.
Exactly. Aiden has his story as well, bruh. So comparison is a thief of joy. Two, have fun.
Mm,
This game is not guaranteed. This game is not promised. You never know when your last playing this game will be. And when I lost all of my seniors that were in the same class as me going into my last year of college football, I was with a whole entire new team. And I remember when I came back, I'm sitting here like, nah, like I might not be with the same guys, but bro, I'm out here playing football, playing every single play. I'm having fun playing the game that I love. And the more you think of it that way, the more you gonna have success in this game, bro. I promise. Because look, I've listened to people, especially throughout this draft process, because I promise this NFL, like this not for long. When they say not for long, it is true. It is real. But I've listened to people look at this as their job. I don't look at this game playing in the NFL as a job. I don't. I look at it as I'm living a dream. I'm playing a child game at 23 years old and being able to call it my job. Like, yeah, it's my job. But if you look at it as your job, like, damn, gotta get up in the morning. I got meetings. I got weight room. Oh my God.
right.
Or you could look at it as, damn, I got meetings. I'm in the NFL. Dog, I'm playing with Bake. Like I'm finna go chop up. I'm finna go learn more football with Bake.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm dog. Out of 32 NFL teams, I'm on one of them.
Mm.
Look at it like that. Like If you a Power Five guy, dog, you a power. If you're a Division 1 football player, you are already 1% of the 1%. And then when you go from college to the NFL, you are literally 1% of the 1% of the 1%. And like I said earlier, the way it's just about your mindset. If you start looking at it like, nah, this is my job. I gotta go clock in tomorrow. You saying it like this is not something that you love to do.
Hmm.
You ain't done it your whole entire life.
Hmm.
One thing Cam Ward said last year was right before he went into his rookie year, he said, if my dad got to get up at 5 a.m. every single day to go do a job that he don't really want to do, why would I not get up as early as possible to go out there and go do a job that I love to do? That sat with me, Fish. That very statement sat with me because I'm like, damn, are you right? It's
Hmm.
some people waking up at 5 a.m. who have to get up to go do a job that they don't love to go provide for their family. You get to go wake up and go do a job that you've been doing your whole entire life that you've been having fun doing to go be able to provide for your family.
Right.
Like, yeah, like, nah, bro, have fun with this. Have fun with this. You don't know when it's gonna be over. You don't know when it's gonna be your man's last time playing. Your last time playing the game of football with your man's. You don't know when it's gonna be your last time playing with this team. You don't know when it's gonna be your last time putting on a shoulder pad and helmet. So go out there and give it your all every single play. And whenever that day comes, you'll never be able to say like, nah, bro, I didn't give it my all.
Hmm.
That's one of my biggest fears is to be able to say like, I didn't give this my all. I didn't put my best foot forward every single day. I didn't. I don't want to look back with regret. Like, damn, I should have did this differently.
Hmm.
Damn, I should have. I should have, could have, would have is gone. So nah, while you in it, bro, have fun, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy every single moment. Every single high, every single low. Nipsey Hussle also said go through every single emotion. That's what makes us. Going through every single emotion. When
Hmm.
you sad, be sad. It's gonna happen. If you gotta go cry those tears out, like as a man, like I know as a man, as men, we're not supposed to sit here and express our feelings to anybody. If you don't want to cry out in public, go call that person that you need to go cry to.
Hmm.
We're just because we men don't mean we need to hide everything.
Hmm.
The more we hide, the more it's gonna build up inside, and then it's gonna come out at some point. So you might as well go take care of that now.
That's good, man. Sheesh. Man, I wish I had some eligibility now. Dang.
Nah, man, I'm
Well,
trying to. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. Go with the courts. You might get one. Go with the
that I
courts.
could,
You might get you one, fish.
bro, I could find one.
Come on now. All you got to do is say, this year it just didn't. I got the medical records.
It was my COVID year, man.
It was COVID. What happened was that year it just didn't go that way.
Oh, dude. Bro, this has been fantastic. You know how much I love you. I love your family. I think you are you are totally unique the way God made you, but you are definitely a product of your family and your support system and your village, who I've been lucky enough to really get to know on a personal level. I'm so proud of you. Uh,
Appreciate you, Fish, man.
I mean, I've seen it. So when we talk about behind the scenes, I've seen it with you, and I've cried with you. I've been hurt with you. I've been with
Yeah.
your family through it all, and it's just a blessing to see where you're at, enjoying your dream, living your life, and doing it with the attitude that's contagious, man. And I just want to let you know that I think you got nothing but the world ahead of you, bro. And I appreciate you dropping too many bars in this interview. I'm gonna have to break it down, dude. But this has been outstanding. Can we do it again soon?
Yeah, man. Come on, bro. You already know my line always open to you, Fish, bro.
I appreciate you, pal. I'll let you get back to that. I know you got film to study. I
Come
know you
on now.
got
You know
credit
that.
work.
You know that iPad that they provided us right here. Come on now. You got to keep them hours up.
Man, dude. Oh gosh, I know it, man. All right, brother. Well, listen, man. God bless you. Let's tap in soon, man. Keep getting after it.
You know that. Dumb love, Fish.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks, baby.
Peace.
Peace.